Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the BKB National Wool Market Report with myself and Jacques Taljaard. And this week, we are privileged enough to have Dion Simon, manager of Cape Wools, with us. Dion, thanks for making time in your busy schedule. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
But for now, let's start the conversation by looking what happened in the market this week. Our early market indicators show a decrease in the price this week, partly due to the rand strengthening against all the major currencies. Our biggest gains of 2.3% were against the US dollar. Quantity-wise, the offer remained very much the same than last week, with about 9,800 bales for sale. Price reduction were recorded over all micron groups and descriptions, with the broader microns under more pressure. On the open top side, 40 to 50 mils, the prices were under pressure and did not perform as well as our long wool. Our certified wool, especially on the 19 to 21 micron side, had great competition and maintained its premiums in the market. Jacques, anything from your side that you noticed during the day?
Yeah, I think unfortunately we followed the Aussie market with this market today. They came down with 1% softer. I think we might be overreacted with a 6% drop in our market. But yeah, looking at the different types, SA Mutton Merinos were still under pressure. We got a loss there of 4% compared to last week, and it's on the mediums, the 21 and finer. The ones that had 20 microns, there was one or two lots, yes. What's actually a positive is that we hold firm on the 22.5, 23 micron groups.
Strange enough that specific 19 to 21 micron group, that's our brood and butter liner, we constantly running up and down in that group. 1 week we're good, another week we're down a little bit. We don't get a constant line that we can say, okay, we're in a growing phase within that micron group, as in the finer micron. Because we're constantly doing good in the finer side.
The gap is still too big.
Yeah.
We know, and the gap won't stay there. So with the finer side under pressure today, hopefully we can see in the next 2 or 3 sales that the mediums would start picking up. And actually that's where the Chinese order of, 300,000 kilos that they need for their uniforms, that's where they would come in.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I'm expecting an increase there soon, yeah.
I hope you're right. From buyer side, what did you experience? Who were our top 3 for the day?
Standard wool, TNU, and Lempré. It's nice to see Standard wool creeping up there, and TNU. Yeah. So yes, and let me take the opportunity to congratulate Andre Marais on his excellent prize of 177 Rand on 2 bales of BHs, 16.8 micron. And he achieved the second highest prize of 175.10. And then on the 3rd place, Canon Marketing Consultant, Richard Haupt on 1 bale of B agates at 16.9 micron at 172.10. Excellent prices. Under pressure today, definitely the super fines, yeah.
And congratulations or thank you to the buyers who bought those wool. New England on the top price and Standard wool on the 2nd and 3rd. So thanks a lot for buying that wool. Jacques, then that's about the market. Dion, we are privileged to have you here tonight. Maybe one of the more knowledgeable people in the industry regarding natural fibers. You coming from a mohair side and came into the wool and doing huge work on the wool side. So thanks a lot for what you're doing to the wool industry. And we're privileged to have you with us tonight.
Thank you, Leon. Yeah, a little bit complimentary, I think. But yeah, my history goes back. My background started in financial, actually. Born and bred in Port Elizabeth, firstly, and then a financial background, did my articles, and started out in 1998 with the formation of Mohair South Africa as financial manager, and then moved on to general manager, and in total spent 21 years in the mohair industry. and now for the past just over 2 years involved in the wool industry. But yeah, natural fibers is my love, my passion. And with that goes the whole sustainability journey. And it really is my passion.
Yeah, wonderful.
What are you going to say about the sales of yesterday, the mowing sale?
That's unbelievable. I think that also goes back to good work done and having the structures in place. You know, with big retailers at that point in time saying, you know, they'll never return to mowing, and what's been set in place now, put in place now with the standards, and particularly the RMS, I think really it's brilliant and it's fantastic. And I think that the retailers basically had no choice to do that.
Yeah, it's wonderful to see an industry growing in such a fast pace, especially yesterday's auction. I don't think anyone saw that increase of 20-25%. So well done to the mower industry.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Dion, yes, we had back at Wool a roller coaster season so far. Where do you see the market evolving from here on?
Jack, that's a very interesting and difficult question. You know, if we just go back to 2018 and the levels that we saw, I mean, just put it in perspective. We came through a very difficult 2 years. I'd say difficult and fortunate. And I'm going to come to the fortunate later. But firstly, difficult because of foot and mouth disease and the period of ban from China that we came through. I mean, in 2019, we saw basically on average a 24% decrease from the 2018 average levels. So that already was a marked decrease. And then COVID hit us. And, you know, from early January 2020 at an average of 176 Rand coming down right to 118 Rand. And where we're sitting now, well, at the previous sales, sorry, not this one, 172 Rand average. I mean, that's a 45% increase. So something tells you there is sustainability in the market at some level, and there's a level to build from. Mm. Now we've said, and I think in various reports and commentary, I think we will continue to see volatility in the market. And once again, maybe this is one of the reasons what happened today, but with Europe going back into quite strict lockdowns, we're seeing that Europe's capacity for processing is sitting around the 50% level. And if we shift to the east into China and to Vietnam, I mean, they're operating at a 70 to 80% capacity, processing capacity. And that's where you really see some of the market stability come from. But at this point in time, we believe there still will be a bit of instability in the market until the whole market sorts itself out. You see exactly the same happening the last few days in the stock market as well. So to answer your question, Jog, I don't know, but I think we'll continue to see volatility. I do think at some point in time, we'll probably come close to those levels of 2018 again. But I just want to take you back 2 or 3 years as well. For about 2 or 3 IWTO congresses, Chris Wilcox made the statement, we're in a super cycle, we're in a wool super cycle. And at some point in time, we're going to see a correction. Now, that correction was going to happen. Now, let's not forget, on top of that was foot and mouth and then COVID. So we can expect what's happened. And I once again want to say, I think we are still really in a good position currently in South Africa.
Didn't maybe part of that correction already started happening in 2019? I think what influenced our price were foot and mouth, but the Aussies followed the same trend, a little bit of a downward trend during the 2019. So maybe a correction in the market already started in 2019 correct. Before the COVID.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, and then when COVID hit, that was just an additional correction.
Yeah. So if you're looking at 20 and a half, 21, what are we lying at the moment at? 6% below last year levels.
Yeah, close to that.
With all this, it's actually good.
Yeah. No, we're not in a bad place considering the world economic climate. I don't think we're in a bad place. Yeah. Talking about the COVID pandemic, how did it influence consumers? We heard people moving away from wearing jackets into active clothes. How did the COVID pandemic overall influence the consumers and their behavior?
Leon, I think it's been quite a dramatic change. I don't think it will probably go back to what we've seen pre-COVID. Like you say, in traditional formal wear is basically really on a steep decline. There's no weddings, funerals, people don't attend, big functions, people don't attend. And I think that decline in formal wear we're going to continue to see. Then on the active side, I think there's a little bit of there is much better performance, especially in the European outdoor sector. And I think their innovation will play a key role in terms of, people, wearing more leisurely garments and staying at home and working in comfortable clothing. Yeah. So that's definitely going to change. I think, traditionally, if we look at the Eastern markets, Japan, Taiwan, Korea, China to a certain degree is a very formal market. So there might be a little bit of recovery in that when the market returns. But I want to just refer to one specific article. Before I get to that, I also think that the consumer is going to do a lot of more online investigation and research. And when they do make a purchase, make sure it's a purchase that will last them and be more durable. So hopefully that will be in Wool's favor. Just quickly want to refer you to an article, and I've referred to this case study before, but it's basically a concept of what it's called Y Closet. And Y Closet is a Chinese online platform, a retailer. So they charge customers a monthly fee, $80 per month, and they rent clothing. So you don't own the clothes, you rent it. So every month you change your closet. Okay. So this started out in 2015 already. Alibaba has bought a huge stake in Y Closet. Now, you might say, yeah, well, Dion, what's the point? Well, the point is it started out as fast fashion. So it's purely fast fashion. And that's how the Chinese market really starts. But the Ellen MacArthur Foundation did this study. Now, Ellen MacArthur is key in circular economies and doing research on that. And she made a very interesting statement in this article. And I just quickly want to refer you to it. It says, to avoid these negative consequences that really goes about fast fashion, Y Closet could curate their collection carefully within high-quality, durable, natural fibers. And this is really our opportunity. And I think the way people buy clothes and they look at their clothes and the whole circular economy of where that clothing ends up, and hopefully not in a landfill, that's Wool's big advantage, is going to be to the advantage of natural fibers and to Wool in the future. And that is really my belief and opinion.
And that's our duty as an industry to go out and to tell the story of Wool.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's, I remember years back when the IWTA were in Cape Town, there was certain persons that actually made mention about recycling. In Europe, they start recycling wool garments that's 50 odd years old to recycle that. And it just, if it's out of fashion, it just stays in your cupboard. And
correct.
So it's recyclable, yeah, why not?
John, if you could summarize, coming to an end, so if you could summarize, what is the picture of the wool clip in South Africa at the moment? How do we look? Where do we stand?
Yeah, I think if we look at production and weighing volumes that we're seeing, actually it was quite consistent and stable until the last few weeks where we see a slight decline. We still believe especially with the good rains that have fallen, that we're going to see a good clip this year and a stable clip. What's very interesting is that the yields that we've seen to date, year to date, is very stable. Although we see slightly higher vegetable matter in the clip, but very stable yields that's coming in year on year if we have to measure it. So yeah, I think we've seen some very fine microns coming through.
Yeah, we could expect that after the drought.
After the drought, I think which is very good and creates a nice opportunity within the market. But yeah, I think good quality, and I think we'll probably see good improvements in yields after the good rains.
Well, the Highveld showed us that with their high rainfalls that they had. There were 70. There's even, I think there's one cattle of 28, 29. There's a clip with close to 80% clean yield on it, coming up in a month's time. Yeah.
Getting some of the best yields from down from the Free State, from that side.
Yeah, Ermelo, Bakkerstroom, those areas.
We've seen in a long time.
And it's not washed. The wool doesn't appear washed out. So it's been rain 2-3 months before shearing on it, and excellent. So you still get a proper style on it. Yeah.
John, thanks a lot. Appreciate your time. Josh, thank you. And thank you to everyone listening. Our next wool auction will be on 24th of March, and after the auction, we will have a report ready regarding the week's price movements, and we will be in conversation with Jaco Botha, BKB's sustainability manager, regarding RWS and its place in the market. And while we're busy talking with Jaco, Dion's running also a sustainability program, so we'll be talking to Jaco about that as well. Thank you, and have a good evening to everyone.